Welcome to LANTITEPrep.com. In this lesson, we will cover a section on your LANTITE exam that covers a topic of interest. Without further ado, let's begin. Starting off with a definition. Interest is the amount of money paid as a percentage or amount in order to use some amount of money. People often have ideas for how to make money, and for this reason, there is a fee to borrow money. Therefore, when you use someone else's money, there is a fee to borrow the money, and this fee to borrow money is called interest. Let's look at an example. This is Alice, and she wants to borrow $1,000 from the local bank, which charges 10% interest. Take a moment to see if you can calculate how much borrowing $1,000 will cost Alice. Pause the video and push play again when you're ready for the solution. In order to borrow $1,000, Alice needs to pay 10% interest, which equals $100, meaning when paying off the entire loan, although she borrowed only $1,000, she will actually pay a total of $1,100 to the bank. For your LANTITE exam, keep the following terminology in mind. The $1,000 is what we call the principal. The 10% is called the interest rate, and the $100 paid to borrow the money is called the interest. Regarding the parties involved, Alice is the borrower and the bank is the lender. This system works very easily when the loan is made for 1 year, but what if Alice needed a 2-year loan? Well, if the bank charges simple interest, then Alex just pays another 10% for the extra year. And the math looks like this. $1,000 times 10% times 2 years equals $200 of total interest to be paid. This means that simple interest means that you pay the same amount of interest every year. Let's look at an example. If Alice borrows $1,000 for 5 years at 10% simple interest, how much in only interest will she pay on top of the principal amount? Take a moment to solve this and come back when you're ready. If Alice borrows $1,000 at 10% interest for 5 years, she will pay a total of $500 of interest. Is that what you go to? Well done. Let's do another. And this time, let's change the rate of interest. What if Alice borrows $1,000 for 7 years at 6% simple interest? How much of only the interest fee will she pay? Pause the video here and use what you've learned so far to solve this. Then come back for the solution. Alice borrows $1,000 at a 6% interest rate for 7 years, and the interest that she'll need to pay is $420. One more question. How much in total, including the principal and the interest, will Alice pay? Again, take a moment to solve this and push play again once you're ready. Excellent. Here's what I get. Including the principal of $1,000, Alice will need to pay $1,420 after 7 years. Putting this all together, can you create the formula to find simple interest? Here it is. I equals P times R times T, where I equals interest, P equals the principal, meaning the amount borrowed, R equals the rate of the interest, and T equals the time factor. Simple interest is really good to learn about. However, in the real world, banks more often do not use simple interest, but instead, they prefer to use compound interest. The difference between simple interest and compound interest is that with simple interest, you pay the same fee amount each year. With compound interest, however, you pay a higher fee amount each year. Let's have a closer look at this. If our friend Alice wants to borrow $1,000 for 5 years, she will pay 10% on top of each year's principal plus interest. Let me show you. In what we'll refer to as year 0, which just means today. Right now, her loan of $1,000 starts at compound interest rate of 10%. Notice that she needs to pay the same as if the agreement was to use simple interest, which is $100 of interest. However, let's remember that Alice's loan is for 5 years, so let's have a look at what the second year looks like. During the second year, we can see that Alice does not pay another $100 for the second year, but instead she pays $110. That's because she's paying 10% on $110 instead of $100. Before I show you the next year, can you calculate the amount in the loan at end cell will be for the third year of the loan? Take a moment to figure this out. Great. Let's have a look. Did you get a total of $1,331? Well done. Next, I'll skip all the way to the end of the loan. But if this was a question on your exam, try and prepare for it now by answering these two questions. 1. What will be the interest paid for the last year? And 2. After 5 years, how much in total will Alice have to pay back? Pause the video here to solve these problems and come back when you're ready for the solution. Alright, excellent. Let's have a look. Let's answer these. First, what will be the interest paid for the last year? That is $146.41. And after 5 years, how much in total will Alice have to pay back? That is $1,610.51. Make sure you pass your LANTITE test on the first try by taking our interest practice quiz. To check your readiness for exam day by visiting LANTITEprep.com for our full test prep. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.